Hey there, welcome to the QB Show. My name is Stacy Kildall, and my co-hosts are Woody Adams and Dawn Brolin. We want to ask you guys to take a couple minutes to visit each one of our sponsors and check them out. They've been helping us bring the show to you for the last 4 years. We have Fundera.com, making sales tax less taxing. They will calculate and pay your sales tax liability and take care of all of your returns as well. We have Tsheets.com. This is probably the #1 employee-rated time tracking application on the planet, if not the galaxy, and an amazing team of people behind it. We have Skyline Hosting by UnidataIT.com. This is where we host all of our QuickBooks software as well as our other software like Microsoft Office. So please take a minute and visit them, and I hope you enjoy our show.
All right, welcome everyone to the QB Show. It's Wednesday, February 17th, 6:30 Central is what I got, right on time there. And it's Don will be in soon, but it's just myself and Stacy. But before I bring Stacy on and see how she's doing, I am a product specialist at Intuit, and anything I do or say on the show may not necessarily reflect the opinion statements or views of Intuit. And Intuit's not affiliated with the show. And my name is Woody Adams. Stacy, how's it going there? I see you got a haircut.
Yeah, you know what? I went a little bit shorter.
Good, short's good.
Yeah, you know what? It's I'm pretty happy with it. This is I think a little bit more me. One of the reasons why I cut it is because I got really sick of people telling me that I was adorable. Not that there's anything wrong with being adorable, but that's just not a word that I generally use to describe myself. So I went back to my hairdresser and I said, I think I need you to go a little bit shorter. And I said, I don't want adorable. So she said, do you want a little edgier?
Yes, edgy's good.
Yeah, and I said, that is a word, not that I'm like an edgy chick, but I think that is a word that fits me better than adorable. So
adorable is unfortunately not sustainable, so I think you did the right thing.
Well, also, you know what, at 40, I don't think I want to be adorable.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
If I were 11...
Sorry.
You okay there?
I'm like dying. My chest is so congested. It sucks. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll get through. We'll take care of it. So yeah, I have before. You know what? Let's do sponsor stuff really quick. I mean, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I mean, that's it. I got my hair cut a little bit more than it was, and this week I'm not wearing pajamas, so I actually have clothes
We're all
on. I got
professional.
old
rolling.
school. Yeah. Yeah.
I got some kind of Norwegian sweater. So when is the guest coming on?
Jared Hecht from Fundera is our guest tonight. Fundera is our new sponsor, and we asked them to come on so you could meet them. Meredith has been on before,
yeah.
And they're actually going to be back on in a couple weeks. And so just want to mention our sponsors, and then I have a really cool kind of thing that I want to mention that I found out today, and I did not know that you could do. So in QBO. So our sponsors are Unidata, or Skyline Cloud Services is their new branding. So we're going to start calling them Skyline from now on. So when you guys hear us mention that, they do hosting for QuickBooks and other applications, pretty much almost any application that you want. If they don't have it listed on their website, you can call them, and they can actually even test it out if they don't do it. So they'll do a system test and see if it's something that they can do. They're really, and they've been one of my favorite sponsors. You know, I only have one client left on desktop, and they're hosted with Unidata, or Skyline, I should say. But I still use the account all the time because it's just easier if I need. I work on a Mac, so for some reason I need. You know, desktop for any reason I need to test something or whatever it is, I can just go to my Unidata account, my hosted account, my Skyline account, and I can open it up and test it. And I have Office and Adobe Acrobat Pro, so there's a lot of stuff that I use that's actually hosted in my hosting account. And then we also have Tsheets.com, Tsheets time tracking, hands down, probably one of the easiest, one of the best time tracking solutions that I have seen. And I've been using QuickBooks since 1998, so this is a really good tool. And then we have Fundera.com, another longtime sponsor. They handle all of your sales tax. They'll calculate your sales tax as well as prepare the returns and file them for you. So if you have any clients that have any complex sales tax issues, definitely just don't even bother doing it. Just have Avalara do it. It's worth every penny. And our newest sponsor, somebody I'm really excited about, is Fundera. And they do small business loans. And I'm actually going through the loan process myself right now. I'm taking out a small SBA loan. I qualified for an SBA loan, which is a really good, a nice loan, with all in their list of products. It's got the best interest rate. It's one of the best products that they have to choose from. And so I'm actually in the process of applying for that right now. Kind of at a point where I don't know that I'm definitely going to go through with it because I don't know that I need it. But I applied for it just because we're planning some marketing stuff and I just want to not have to worry about cash flow. So it's just going to free up a little bit of cash for Kildall Services this year. So what do you have, that being said, what do you have going on aside from congestion and not feeling so well? Any exciting news?
No.
No.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely.
Things are not going well. So
Oh.
overall, so
Okay. Overall, they're not going well. Okay.
So I got nothing.
Okay.
But
well,
I'm happy for Jared to come on, and we'll ask him, about
we'll just
Fundera
leave
and see
that.
how
We're
things
going
are
to
going.
try and cheer you up a little bit today.
Yeah, you got any? What do we have?
Well,
Like, you know when they're coming on per se?
She should be on probably about 10 minutes. I told him to come on about 10, 15 minutes before the hour.
Nice.
But I want to talk about something. So have you ever had a situation, and I've had this happen, where I have a client who's using QBO and who has some sort of third-party application, the API is coming in, and for whatever reason, with their credit card transactions, and I've seen this happen before, and there was really no other solution that I really thought of. They were just journaling. It wasn't an issue for the clients that I saw doing this, so they would just journal out. Hey, there's Brolin. So they would just, hang on, I'm telling a quick story. So they would just do a journal entry because the transactions would come in as a discount, and that's the way that it was mapped in the API. And so the account, it would show up, the invoice, and then down at the bottom in the discounts given, that's where the transaction fee was. The processing fee would get posted just because of the API. For whatever reason, they couldn't make it an item and have it post because the receipt's not going out of QBO. So what I found today, and nobody has ever asked me this, is rather than journaling it out and doing an adjusting journal entry to get it out of that discounts given account, which is where QBO wants to put those discounts automatically, you can actually, I did not even know this, you can actually go change that account. Did you know that you could do that? It's like one of the most simple things, but I just didn't, it never even occurred to me.
That's awesome.
That you could go do that. So we actually now, it's going to save them a lot of development costs because all they have to do is go change that. And so he said, okay, great, now I can go tell my developer, because they have some custom software, I can go tell my developer that they can take this off the table. We've solved the problem for the processing fees. So anyway, Brolin, how are you?
That was awesome. Gone.
Woody's got nothing good going on, just so that you know. He's not feeling well, and he said, in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing good happening for him.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a lot of great things happening because I want to be offset Woody,
right,
and show him love. But I just went like 90 miles an hour.
I heard. I got the text.
I running and went over, and my phone's dead. So as soon as you text me and I said Bridgeport, my phone died.
Oh, and I replied, I have no idea where that is because I don't know where that is.
It's in Connecticut, which is how you learn to spell Connecticut, by the way. Connecticut. That's how you learn.
Okay.
So I'd like to give that feedback. But yeah, so yeah, things are great. I was at a client today that I haven't been in a few years. Maybe it hasn't been. Maybe it's been a couple years anyway. But he's been waiting for me, which is so cute. I don't know, just a lot of great. It was really an awesome appointment. I didn't want to go because it was snowing this morning again, and I didn't want to drive for 3 hours.
Oh.
So I didn't want to for that purpose. But when I got there, it was really phenomenal. And we did a lot of enterprise training and enterprise work, and it was kind of fun. So that part's fun. My hat.
So it was, you got your hat. I still don't have a hat. Apparently everybody on Facebook has a Team Brolin hat. I mean, granted, I have the shirt. So I'm very excited. I just wore that the other day, but I do not have the hat, and I'm pretty sure I would look pretty cute in it. I just don't have one to prove that.
I believe it was mailed today. Nicole, you can blame Nicole.
Okay, I will.
Yep. So your package, I believe, was mailed today because it was on the list, and along with the other present that I got you.
Okay. I still have yours. You know what? I say that, and your present is still sitting up right directly above me on my dresser in my bedroom.
Yeah.
It's still sitting there.
My lips are so chapped. I forgot my chapstick, which is like and I wasn't stopping to get another one.
Okay, that's fine.
I was like, I'm not stopping. I'll get home and I will use my chapstick. I'm going to sleep with this chapstick tonight because my lips are so chapped.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was bad. But otherwise, no, things are good. Things are cranking. Tax season isn't so bad so far. So I'm not dead. Everything's good. It's just been good.
I got to give a shout out to Amy Jean on the Twitters. Her first QB show tonight, and she's working on her QBO certification, and she says she just signed up for the Pro Advisor program because she wants to expand her bookkeeping clientele. So I want to thank, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, that's exciting.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Woody, I'm worried about you. You're worrying me.
Oh, my pain, it just hurts a lot. Oh, there is some news. I did e-file my taxes, and so I'm excited about that.
So I'm not doing it.
TurboTax Online. Yeah, love it.
But that doesn't have anything to do with the product. That's people stealing other people's identity. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else.
I'm not worried about that. I love
TurboTax
TTO.
has nothing to do with how you file or who you are or using TurboTax. That problem, it has nothing to do with the product. That has everything to do. No, it doesn't.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So
I have total confidence.
No, I mean it doesn't. It has to do with the fact that people were stealing other people's identity. Yeah.
Correct.
That was
not to mention the news was way incorrect.
Yeah.
Almost to the point of a gross error on their part. Just disgusting. I almost felt it was like Deflategate, really. I mean, only one of the balls turned out to be deflated. I just can't abide. The dude cannot abide with how they handled the situation. But I have utmost confidence. I e-filed them today, and I'm very excited about that because of all Intuit products, including any QuickBooks products, my favorite Intuit product is TurboTax Online.
Nice.
Yep.
Interesting. That's awesome.
It is, and so even better than QBO. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's for
and then also,
it walks you through stuff. If you don't have a complex return, it's actually.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't yet have to email Dawn really hard tax questions.
Don't email me because I won't answer you.
I know you won't, and that's all right. I respond to yours though. That's okay. We can keep it that way.
That's because you're my brother, and I don't respond to you. You have to respond to me though.
That's fine. And my folks are in town for 2 months, and they're renting a converted pool house in downtown McKinney, which is nice. So that's good.
Oh, awesome!
That's very
pictures.
Online, it's not all bad.
Yeah.
Not all bad. It's just that I feel like someone jabbed a knife in my chest.
Well, that's no good. Well,
Woody, if you have to drop off, buddy, Stacy and I got it. Honestly.
Yeah, you guys will be fine.
You'll be fine. It's fine, Woody.
You go.
Got you, bud.
Drink some warm milk and go to bed early. Isn't warm milk supposed to make you all sleepy?
No, that'll just make it more congested. You know what I do have is I have that coating cough syrup. I'm gonna go slam some of that.
There you go, buddy. Take a nice long nap.
I think that will really help me.
Yes, I know it will.
Yeah.
I know it will. So you go ahead and do that. Dawn and I got this. We'll chit chat.
Well, tell Jared I say thank you. I wanted to say thank you to him, but
we will tell him that.
It's not happening, and I apologize. Okay. I apologize for my negative behavior.
No, it's okay. You're entitled to be a little negative. I don't think I've ever seen you say nothing is good ever. I don't think I've ever seen you quite. That's why I was like, Woody's not 100% himself. So go.
Dude, I got like 10 people and 14 mailboxes. Don't worry about it. I got here. I was going like $1.90. I'm like, sorry, what's your mailbox? I'll be back tomorrow, which I won't. But
You're not doing that.
I'd never do that, Woody.
All right.
So go, be with your bad old self.
All right. Well, you guys have a good evening.
Good
Love you,
night.
buddy.
We love you, Woody.
Okay.
Oh, Woody. I don't want Woody being sick.
I've never seen him so sick. I felt so bad. I'm
That's
glad
not-
his mom. He's like sick enough where I'm glad his mom is in town because he like needs his mom. He's like that sick. Like he needs little mama.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got anything exciting going on? Any good client stories?
Well, I do. I have a whole bunch.
Okay.
I got a bunch of stuff.
Well,
So
yeah, Jared's gonna be on in a minute, so I'm gonna cut you off when he logs on, just so you know.
okay.
Yep.
I don't know who's Jared.
He's the CEO of Fundera. He's our guest tonight.
Oh, wait. That's not what I call him. Sorry. I have a different nickname. So now I'm with you.
Okay.
But actually, yeah, no, I've had some really, really good stuff going on. Just got pulled into a potential, well, a possible, we haven't totally determined yet, a fraudulent company, a fraudulent QuickBooks activity in Texas.
Oh.
Got pulled in last night to that, so we'll see what becomes of that, and I'm doing my analysis, which is super fun for me. I feel like I should have my badge on, which I can.
There you go. Is that the one that we got you?
That's a badge you got me, baby. This
Nice.
is my badge. I wore it at a security event. They allowed me to, which was great for one of Emily's things. So that's all good, and that I'm excited about participating in. But we did some fun enterprise. I did some fun enterprise stuff today. We've been pumping out tax returns. You know, it's so interesting in the tax world of things that we learn that we don't know because they don't teach us everything. You have to kind of learn as you go in some cases. So we had a client who was a divorce, had a divorce, was the primary caregiver for the kids, but it was his turn to take the kids, and that's the whole. It's like we could snowball it, but needless to say, he was able to claim the kids, but she was still able to claim head of household. Even though, because she was really the primary caregiver, but which, by the way, the divorce decree doesn't always dictate who gets to claim the kid, because really the IRS rules are not the same as divorce court rules. So it's been kind of fun getting down and deep into that stuff. That's been fun. I'm starting to get used to having people in my office. With all the snow, I have had to get some help on parking, even at my home, because there's no room to park. And so we have clients picking up and dropping off, and appointments coming in, and so it's kind of busy and fun, and it's been a really great. So far, it's been great, and the best hire I ever made was Nicole. Saying that respectfully of the rest of my team, but for me personally, who needs probably a chaperone or a handler, as Stacy and I call them.
Yeah.
She's coming. She's working hard. I've been through 5 people in that position, and she is crushing it.
Nice.
Because I don't like to repeat myself.
Hey, there he is. Oh, and he's got his shirt on. Jared's got his shirt on.
I don't want it. Wait, I'm not saying it. Filter.
What? What were you gonna say?
I don't want him to have a shirt on. Just kidding.
Oh, you are just filthy.
I'm do a filter.
Wait,
So
can we hear you? We can't
Done.
hear him. We can't hear him. Are you there? Okay, can't hear him.
He's wicked cute though in that picture. I mean, really?
Can you hear me now?
There he is. Oh, he's got his shirt on.
That's what
I
I
got the
said.
shirt
He's
on.
got his Team Roland shirt on. Yeah,
course I
well,
got
not
the
even
shirt
here.
You don't have the shirt on.
You know what? No, I've got my shirt on. I'm boycotting the Team Roland shirt until I get my hat, because Donna's been telling me she's gonna send me a hat for months, and I still don't have it.
Stacey, if I had one of those shirts, I'd be wearing 2 shirts at the same time.
I just, you know what? Actually, it is. I'm gonna say it is dirty, because I just had it on the other day. It's in the wash.
Fair
And
enough.
I only have one Team Brolin shirt.
Gotcha. Well, I got two.
Oh, well, I did, but I gave one to my daughter, and she wears it, I believe she wears it all the time. Like, she wears that and the Intuit shirts that she has all the time. And I got a Bug M Wood for a new Fundera shirt for her.
Awesome. Well, she's got good taste.
Yeah, she does. She's a great
Fundera shirt I wear to bed often and out in public as well, which is important. So, Jared, I'm not gonna on the show. I'm not gonna say the name that I have for you. So I just want to make that clear because I don't know you as Jared. I know you as something else, but I'm not gonna make that public.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll do that at a later date.
You have to say it now.
Yeah.
I can't. Nope.
You know what?
I have to get M Wood to give me permission.
I'll get
Meredith,
it now.
Meredith says you got permission.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, I have to warm up. I gotta warm up into it.
How about, like, we'll warm up a bit together, and then towards the end you can just drop it.
Nice.
Okay,
There we
I'll
go.
name. I'll like even point at you.
Yeah,
I'll do
it.
this.
There
Okay.
we go.
I'm gonna
Okay.
wait.
So now that we've brought you on, Jared Hecht, CEO of Fundera, we just want our listeners, our audience, to get to know Fundera. I love you guys, and I'm really excited. Like, I'm ecstatic that you guys are on board. And we've described Fundera a bit to our audience members, but really when it comes down to it, nobody really knows it as well as you do. So can you give us, because I know you guys have a pretty interesting story. Meredith has mentioned it a couple times before. So in your words, and I wish I had some Barbara Walters, like, soft lighting. In your words, Jared, what is Fundera?
Well, that's a great question. Fundera, we're an online marketplace for small business loans. A very easy way to think of it is like Kayak, but for small business loans. We make it absolutely dead simple for a small business owner to understand what he or she is eligible for when it comes to the world of small business financing, and then make it even easier to move forward in the process and apply for multiple loans at the same time, and ultimately receive multiple offers, which results in the best rates possible.
And I just want to say I can speak to that firsthand. I've been witness to it, and it actually works exactly the way that you described.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you were just talking about your experience applying for an SBA loan.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, I hope it's been easy.
It has been ridiculously easy, and even the kind of bumps in the road, like just some of the documentation, you guys have made it ridiculously simple. So it's been amazing.
I'm happy.
And I just want to say Dominic is a huge Rush fan, so that kind of is a little, like, just a little icing on the cake for me.
That's awesome. Perfect. Well, I'm happy to hear that.
So what's your background then? So tell our audience, I know what it is, but like, I want to hear you describe it, and just tell our audience. Basically, we want our audience to get to know you and what your story is.
Cool. I have a little bit of somewhat of a weird, non-conventional background. The second I graduated from college here in New York, I joined Tumblr when it was in its very, very early phases. I joined when there were like 7 people working there.
Nice.
And I was there for a little over a year for a very, very interesting time. Watched it scale to millions and millions of users. And as I was there, I began to get the entrepreneurial itch, and ultimately decided that I wanted to do my own thing, which was a company called GroupMe. So after a little over a year at Tumblr, I left to go start GroupMe, which was a group messaging application. I don't know if you use GroupMe, but it's a pretty fun app. It's a great, easy way to communicate with groups of people on your mobile phone, over text message, through the app, or even on your desktop computer.
Nice.
And we did GroupMe probably for a little over a year before we actually ended up selling it to Skype and Microsoft.
Nice.
And ended up at Skype and Microsoft for around 2 years, working on integrating the product into the mothership over there, and really kind of had an opportunity to learn about how very, very large companies are run and operated. And while I was at Microsoft, I began to think about what it was I wanted to do next, and really serendipitously stumbled into the world of small business lending. What had happened was I have a cousin in Ohio. His name is Zach Weprin, and he and his brother and father and another business partner have a restaurant called Fusion, and it's like Chipotle but for sushi. So
nice.
it's epic. If you ever find yourself in Ohio, I highly recommend it.
I'm pretty close to Ohio. Where in Ohio is it? It's right, just, it's the boring state right south of me.
Gotcha. Well, I don't think they would like you saying that.
You went to where?
Like you're saying that, he said.
Like where? I'm sorry, where did you go?
Oh, crap, that's awesome.
Anyways.
Did you say you went to OSU?
Right.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, so my whole wife's family is from Ohio, and if they're watching, I'm sure they will love your trash talking right now.
I love OSU. I'm just saying.
Oh wait.
You know what? Honestly, I do not give a shit, to be honest, when it comes to sports. As Dawn, like I could not care any less than I do. But I know that the whole U of M OSU is like a thing, so that's the only reason why I say it. Otherwise, I really don't care. Like I totally don't care.
It's a very real thing.
It's a very real thing.
But I'm in the same boat as you. I honestly couldn't care less either.
Yeah.
I just talk about it with everybody I know who's from Ohio, and so we have something, like kick off.
That's awesome.
But now the cat's out of the bag, so people are just gonna call me out.
That is fabulous. That is fabulous. All right. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So they have, now they're all over Ohio. They have locations in Dayton, in Cincinnati, in Columbus, and they're expanding and expanding and expanding. But this is around 2.5 years ago when I started talking to him, and he had 2 restaurants at the time. And I love Fusion. I could eat there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I think eating sushi for breakfast, lunch, and dinner might be a little bit weird, but that's how much and think it's so good. So I wanted to make an investment in his company so I could help him open up his 3rd restaurant. And he said no, because he didn't want to take any equity investment whatsoever. He didn't want to be diluted. It was a family-run business. He wanted to keep it that way. And instead, he asked for a loan. And I said, no way in hell. I want to own a piece of the business.
Right.
And I took him to go to a bank. And he had explained to me that he had been to 3 different banks and was declined by every single one of them for a loan.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And honestly, this made no sense to me. Because I come from this world of internet startups and consumer web startups.
Right.
And it's this very, very bizarre place where people can go out there and raise millions of dollars with zero revenue. Oh, you're drinking wine. I should be drinking wine too.
If you had one, I can't believe Meredith didn't tell you. If you see a cat, you're supposed to take a drink because I have 4 cats.
Wood.
I was told wood.
Oh, okay. M. Wood. All right.
M. Wood.
Sorry. I keep interrupting.
So anyways, it just seemed crazy to me that I came from this world of consumer web startups where people can literally raise millions of dollars in venture capital with zero business model whatsoever. That's what I had done in my previous startup, GroupMe, and that's what had happened at Tumblr. And here was a healthy, growing business with 50 employees, profitable in both locations, and he couldn't get a bank loan for $300,000 to open up location number 3. And there's something fundamentally backwards and wrong with that picture. That's the definition of nonsensical. So I began with him to investigate what his options were beyond bank lending. And in doing so, turned to the web and stumbled on this world of alternative non-bank lending, which was extremely, extremely confusing, particularly at that time 2.5 years ago when there weren't a lot of name brands, and even today there aren't a lot of name brands, and it's still almost equally confusing. And I became increasingly infatuated with the space and spent a year doing due diligence. And in that diligence, recognized that Fusion was not an exception to the rule. Fusion was the rule. Businesses were being declined for funding across the entire country. And this really hit at the last economic crisis and recession. And as a result, this world of non-bank lending had emerged. But when we were starting to look at what his options were, it was so incredibly difficult to find the right lender for his business. He was getting hit up left and right by a bunch of loan sharks for the most part.
Right.
Really, really shady loan brokers as well. And everywhere he turned, his information was being sold. He would go on, apply for a loan online. And the next thing you knew, like 50 people were calling.
Yep. I had a client who had the same exact situation, very profitable business. He'd been in business for almost probably 8 years at that point. Had 2 locations. He was an auto shop, wanted to buy a building that was for sale, needed to get funding, and he could not get a lender to talk to him. And the funny thing is, he had never had to ever take out a loan to start his business. He still doesn't even have a credit card, a business credit card. He's paid cash for everything, really profitable, really successful. Same situation. I wish you guys would have been perfect for him, but this was like 4 years ago. But yeah, I mean, I know exactly, and every time he would try to apply, they're like, nope, sorry. It's that whole thing, like if you need the money, they're not going to give it to you. They only really give it to you a lot of times when you don't need it. So,
totally. 100% true.
Yep.
So we began to just like get really, really pissed off about his situation, and honestly about most every other small business owner situation out there, and saw a really incredible opportunity to help bring a lot of transparency to the space of non-bank lending, and ideally help grow the market as a whole. Because what we're really trying to do is expand the market for access to small business credit. And the way we're doing that is through Fundera. And I think when you think about what we're building with Fundera, it's really analogous to the way that almost every other industry works. Yeah. In the sense that, like, when a consumer wants to go buy something and they go online, they generally go to a marketplace or an aggregator, understand what their options are, do their research, do price comparison, truly understand what they're eligible for and what's best for him or her, and then ultimately make a purchasing decision. And nothing like this existed in this space.
No, and that's the thing about loans. I mean, there is nothing like that. And most of my clients, they go out and they do exactly that. If I'm going to buy a piece of equipment, if I'm going to hire somebody, I'm going to be able to figure out what the best option is. And with loans, for small businesses, it's kind of, well, whoever will give me the money, and that's really all I have. So I love this, and what I liked about the process, and I wish I had done some screenshots so that I could share it, but what I really liked was it gave me, I think, 5 or 6 different options of what I could choose from, and what was really neat is that it showed me like the average, the interest rate. Like, it didn't show me exactly, but it said, like the average interest rate for this type of loan would be this and this and this. Yep. So obviously, I'm going to probably choose the one with the best interest rate, and try and get the best choice for me. So and it was dead simple. I mean, I just connected my QuickBooks, my QBO file, answered a couple questions, and I was off and running. It was so ridiculously simple, and that's right now my very favorite things with add-ons and apps to run your business. Is just dead simple. Just do, like, you have one job, do it and do it really well, and I think it's amazing. So, yeah.
Thanks. Many, many thanks. Appreciate it.
So go ahead, Dawn. Go ahead.
So we sent over a client actually from the city, which was even cooler because you guys are in the city.
Yeah.
And, which is an awesome place to be, and I cannot wait to come to your offices. But so we sent over a client who I would say is as traditional as any other business, been in business for a couple of years, really, getting it together, having profits, making things happen. And we sat down and just were talking about, her future and what she was doing. And I said, well, wait a minute. There's somebody right in the city that I know can help you, even faster than a bank. A bank will take, 70 years to make a decision.
I'd be 71.
71. And so since you are 30, you'll be dead when you get the decision, which is unfortunate. I don't know. But anyway, so we sent her over, and she applied for a $100,000 loan, and she's just so excited about the opportunity to have someone take her seriously. Like, she didn't feel like she was under the gun or under like a microscope to have that process taken care of. It was more of, hey, listen, let's just see it. And and this person, I know doesn't watch the show, but I can say it can be difficult at times. And really gives me real feedback as a client and says yes or no, or this is irritating, and I always hear about it. But she's been like, this has been such an easy process for $100,000.
Yeah.
I mean, she needs it.
Awesome. Well, I sincerely hope we're helping her well and she's successful in her search.
Do I know this person, Dawn?
M. Wood is there, and she loves M. Wood. Meredith Wood, by the way. I say M. Wood.
Hey, Dawn, do I happen to know this person at all that you're talking about?
Yes.
I do. Oh, I think I know exactly who it is.
Yep.
You know what? And I just want to say, she might be difficult at times, but she also is one of the most amazing people I've ever met.
She's
and I don't
rocking.
say that. Yeah, I mean, she's pretty cool. So I have another. Well, Dawn, you wanted to mention a link I just sent you. Do you want to?
I'm trying to screen share it. I can't get it to work, but I'm just gonna say, Jared. So I call you the hot nerd. I'm just being honest. Okay, listen. I married a man.
I'll take it.
You're the hot nerd, and like my husband's totally cool with it too, and because he always says he doesn't care who warms up the car as long as he gets to drive.
Jared, do you drink Coors Light at all?
Yeah.
You do? Oh boy.
I have to get off the show now. I have to go.
Oh, you like Coors Light? I take it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Dawn really likes Coors Light.
Well, I'm in New York and we'll drink Coors Light.
Uh-oh.
Jared, I will ruin you in here.
You're gonna need it.
I will ruin you. You'll never be the same. And the fact that you have the Team Rollin' shirt on, I really have to go.
So
I'm
you know what? I'm gonna bring this back. I'm gonna reel it back in. I'm gonna be Woody. I'm gonna rein it in.
I'm sorry, Jared.
I'm gonna rein it back in right now, and I wanna ask.
I'm sorry.
I want to just ask, you mentioned that you wanted to invest in your cousin's business, and I know that Meredith had mentioned that you are an angel investor as well, so you're this amazing, entrepreneur, and you're also an angel investor. What are some of the other companies that you have invested in? Why? And here's my question: is what makes you decide, yeah, this is the one that that I choose?
Yeah, totally. So a couple companies that I really love that I've been very, very lucky to be able to invest in. There's one called Code Academy, which teaches people how to code online exceptionally easily. There's another one called TransferWise.
What was the one about coding? Say that again.
Called Code Academy.
Okay.
Yep. Another one's called TransferWise, which enables you to transfer money into different currencies. Again, exceptionally easily at a rate that's significantly lower than what banks charge for interchange fees. Another one, which is great, so I was able to invest in a restaurant chain, which I was happy about. It's a restaurant called Sweet Green, which was based in D.C. and is now expanding throughout the East Coast. I think just opened up shop in L.A. too. Yeah, I mean, that's just some of the companies that I've been lucky enough to be able to invest in.
I love that. I'm very interested in the Code Academy. I have a 6-year-old who will be going to programming camp at U of M. Sorry, not OSU. He's going to U of M for it.
I would go to OSU.
Right. Well,
I don't care about me too. You know.
Yeah, I know. U of M is a lot closer, so he's going to go to learn, because he's 6, so he's obsessed with Minecraft. So he's going to go learn some Minecraft coding this summer. And I'm going to go check out that other website, because then I have kind of a nerdy, almost 13-year-old daughter who I think would be amazing at. I want to get her into it too, because I tell her, like, if you can write code, you'll run the world later. Like, learn it now, and you will absolutely, positively, basically be running the world by the time you graduate college. So.
100% true. I think that's one of my biggest regrets, like, in life, is never really learning how to code.
Mine was playing the drums. My biggest regret is I never learned to play the drums.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, you know.
I hear you.
Yeah. We have a couple other questions that I want to ask you. You kind of talked about your inspiration for Fundera. So I know that a lot of our sponsors have partner programs. And does Fundera? I know that Fundera has one, but I just know that it exists, and I know that I signed up for it. But do you want to give us a little bit more details about the partner program?
Say one thing.
No.
Just 1 second. So I want Jared to know this. That M. Wood told me that I was the fastest to sign up for the program in the history of Fundera, because I think it took me 25 seconds. Since her email came in, told me about it, and I signed up within, I think it was 30 seconds. She would have to testify to that, and you probably have data
I
collected
thought
on
I
you.
was the fastest one. Whatever.
No. The fastest to sign up for the program, not the loan. The program.
No, I signed up for the program too. I thought I was.
I did. Just saying.
I'm gonna defer to M. Wood on this one.
Honestly, I have no idea if I was. I just like busting down.
Sure.
I will crush her. I will take her down. I really look really horrible tonight, and
No,
I
I love that. I
we're
love
not
that.
tonight, and I'm not even prepared.
That's okay. You
Feel
look
horrible.
fine. So anyway, tell us about your partner program.
So very recently, a little over a month ago, we launched a program for advisors. And we wanted to do something different than, I think, what a conventional partner program really is. I think normally when companies create partner programs, they're like, hey, people, sell my stuff for me. And we think that's genuinely the wrong way to go about it. So what we've done is we've built an advisor program that's largely oriented around education. We're firm believers that this world of non-bank lending is here to stay. And when you look at what small business owners' primary problems are and obstacles are in growing their business, access to credit and cash flow is always one of the top two, if not generally always number one. And we decided to develop a program for advisors that was really oriented around helping educate them about this world of non-bank lending, because we believe that as it grows, it's incredibly important that small business owners are able to turn to people that they actually trust when it comes to their financials. Who do they trust more than their advisors? So really what we want to be able to do is help spread the word about non-bank lending, doing programs like Alternative 101 that really help educate small business owners and advisors on what's going on, so that when a small business owner does approach their advisor, you can actually say, hey, I know exactly what's going on here, and I can tell you whether it would be a good opportunity for your business or something you should avoid entirely. So that was really the primary focus that we took when we decided to build out this program. And another thing that we found was really, really interesting that really helped align us with advisors was that when we looked at a study, I think it was done by the Sleeter Group in March of 2014, and said the number one reason why small business owners leave their advisors is because advisors aren't proactive when it comes to suggesting things to do to help them with their business. Yep. And we felt like this could be a fantastic opportunity because when we were doing our diligence, every advisor we spoke with along the way said that whenever a small business owner approaches them about their financing and needing access to credit, they would always send it to a bank, and it was generally a horrible experience. So we really just saw this as like the perfect opportunity to kind of get the word out there about what's going on in this world of non-bank lending and how Fundera could potentially be a good solution for their customers. So the way it works is advisors go to fundera.com/advisor, and on that page you get all the information you could possibly need on that program. And it's incredibly, incredibly simple for an advisor to create an account. We provide a bunch of marketing and educational materials that are intended to be consumed by the advisor, and if the advisor wishes, they can share those materials with their customers as well, so they can educate them. Yep. And then similarly, we make it very easily for an advisor to apply for a loan on behalf of their customers. It's an incredibly, incredibly simple process. I don't know if either of you have actually looked at it, but it's almost identical, Stacey, to the process that you went through when you were going on it and using Fundera. So you can manage multiple customers all in one dashboard, complete multiple applications at the same time. And I think one of the nice things is that we enable the advisor to be as involved in the process as they like. In fact, you can own the process end to end, and the customer doesn't have to deal with Fundera, or you can simply provide them materials, a link and an introduction to Fundera, and we can help actually manage the process of applying for and securing a small business loan while keeping the advisor in the loop every step of the way.
Nice.
And generally the way we think about, rewarding people for helping us out in this program are twofold. Number one, we just think it's like arming people with education and information is really important and helps advisors all the time.
Right.
There's another value-add service that you can introduce to your customers, all the better. Great for the advisor, incredible for their customer because they have another wealth of knowledge and their trusted advisor. And then similarly, we can actually do revenue shares and revenue guarantees when an advisor actually submits an application on behalf of their customer. So just as one of our aims is to make it as easy as humanly possible for a small business owner to secure a loan through Fundera, we want to have that same ease of use and great customer experience for an advisor as they think about financing for their customers.
Nice. I really like that. I have a client who is going to be looking for funding very soon, probably within the next month or so.
I have a
So
question.
no.
Wow.
Yes. What's
My question would be, I'll mute her. I don't even care.
You have those powers?
Yeah.
I can always unmute me.
So my question is, what would be, from a small business perspective, whatever that means, that's relative, the largest loan potential? Is there a largest loan potential, like $5 million? And to the lowest, which would be maybe $5,000.
Yep.
Do you guys have a range? Like, how does that look?
We do have a range. In fact, the largest potential loan that we can service is a $5 million loan, and that's an SBA loan. The largest loan that we've done at Fundera so far has been $850,000, and that was one individual loan.
Okay, I'm going for that.
What?
I always like to win. I'm a winner.
Well, then you got 851.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The smallest loan we've serviced is actually around $1,600.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, what a cute little baby loan. Aw.
Just a little baby, just a little get started.
This little baby. You know what? I could have used that 11 years ago when I started my business. I had to borrow the money from my mom to join the Pro Advisor program.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy.
I wouldn't have, you know what? It would have been too much for me. It would have been too big of a loan.
There you go. Too much responsibility.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I only needed like $500 to join the Pro Advisor program.
I have a question.
No more.
Do you know, Jared,
Yes.
what they use that $1,600 for?
We do. Off the top of my head, I don't. For every single customer that applies, we ask them what's the intended use of the loan. And generally, lenders in our network want to know exactly what that loan is going to be used for. Because lenders have different underwriting criteria. For instance, if you wanted to consolidate an expensive existing loan through another loan, lenders are going to want to know, and they're going to want to pay off the lender that you actually owe money to.
Right.
Correct.
If you want an equipment loan, they're going to want to know exactly what type of piece of equipment you're actually looking for. So we always ask what the intended use case is.
Nice.
And I would also note in the beginning of the conversation that I find you to be the equivalent, but yet better, of Shark Tank.
You think that we are the equivalent of Shark Tank with that?
Like a better equivalent.
Wait,
of
stop.
Shark Tank. What?
Stop. I screwed up, and I said Dominic instead of Dimitri. And I realized that as soon as I said it, and I haven't had a chance, and he just I just got a message that he said, I'm the Gimli to her Legolas, because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, too, and you're not. Like, you are. You're like the Getty to my Alex, is what I want to say. So
Okay, I'm not done.
I'm
done.
so sorry. And I
My
realized
compliment.
as soon as I said it that I said it wrong. So it's totally Dimitri, and he's the hugest Rush fan, and he's totally been amazing.
So rich.
And he's the Getty to my Alex. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's just, I'm sure I'll appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this-
Anyway, back to our conversation about Shark Tank.
All right.
So I love because you ask the same questions that those investors, which I would call you're not a bank. You're not loaning for the purpose of loaning. You're loaning for the purpose of growth. And I think that that's the same way the investors on Shark Tank, which I watch every moment I can, because I love to watch the questions, which are always the same. Let's not be foolish. So if you are someone who's looking for a loan or looking for an investor or whatever the case is, in your case maybe a loan, the questions are still the same. Except in your case, you're not necessarily giving up equity. But the questions are still the same, that you have to know your sales, you have to have accurate financial information, and if you think you're going to go anywhere besides your, like Stacy respectfully saying, to get a loan from your mom for the Pro Advisor program, which, by the way, was a fabulous investment.
It's changed my Pro Advisor program. We've said it before. Changed my life. That's all I'm saying.
Priceless. But what you do is not take away the ownership of the company, but rather support it and fund it, Fundera, which I have a lot of puns. I have like 1 million of them. And I think that that's a really big difference. But the questions are always the same. And so people who think they're going to go out and just get a loan because they have this wonderful passion, like that's great. And we love that people do. But at the same time, there has to be support behind that. But I love, because when you were talking earlier, you were talking about that, the same questions. You know, what's your revenue? What are you doing? What is your financial situation? Because people take a risk when they're even giving a loan or they're investing either way.
Really?
The same risk.
Completely.
And so, you got to be ready for that.
The things that people, and I think this comes down, whether it's Shark Tank, whether it's like, a software startup going out there looking for venture capital, whether it's a small business owner looking for a loan, when it comes to people lending money or giving equity capital, they're really looking at, well, who is the individual behind this business or individuals behind this business? What has the company done today, and what are they trying to do and solve and build? And then how is it doing? What are the financials of the business? And then ultimately, where are they going? And
Right.
You can really kind of figure that out by asking a standardized set of questions. One of the interesting things that we're doing now is very shortly, as you go through the questionnaire on Fundera.com, most likely in around 2 weeks, the questions will actually be dynamic. So we will only ask you questions based on the way you answered previous questions. Which is
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, mixing it up.
Exams like that, I don't know if you do that. The CPA exam is dynamic.
Oh, is it?
As you are smarter and getting answers correct, they make them harder, but they grade them with more points. So that's like a little tidbit.
Oh, this reminds me of something that I forgot to talk about. So in addition to like all the educational materials that we're putting out for CPAs, we're also doing a bunch of webinars now around alternative lending and non-bank lending. We're doing them in person, and we're doing online webinars as well. And this week, we were actually verified that when CPAs attend our webinars in person, they'll actually be eligible for CPE credits. And next week, knock on wood, the online webinars will also be eligible for CPE credits too. So we really, really like that.
That's a big deal. That's kind of a big deal.
I always have a lot of questions. They're good questions.
All right.
So interestingly, though,
I love this.
The loans that come through, like what people are asking for. Are you seeing a certain industry? Do you? It's anybody, right? A business. Like think about it, like a company or a person who owns a rental property, for example.
Yep.
Or a person who owns some property or whatever. Does Fundera support that type of industry, or is it, what is it? Is it everybody, or?
It's as much as I'd love it to be everybody, it's almost everybody, because we're beholden to the lenders in our network and what types of industries they'll generally lend to. And most of the lenders in our network will not lend to businesses that they consider to be speculative. So what they're really looking for is like, what is your historical cash flow? How predictable are your revenues? And when you get into a business that is speculative, like flipping real estate, for instance,
Right.
It becomes much, much more murky, and lenders don't necessarily like, at least the lenders in our network and non-bank lenders do not prefer this speculative.
Big risk. That's huge risk.
Precisely.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Good to know. For everybody.
Wait. I have one more thing. I think I have a screen share.
Oh, good. I couldn't do it.
That I need to do. So stand by. Hold on. This is really important. I think this is going to help our
Our audience understand.
Our audience get to know Fundera a little bit better. And yeah, so I'm just going to do a quick screen share.
I want to take a picture of him on this thing. I don't know how to do it.
Like a screenshot?
Yeah, like a picture thing.
I'll get it. I'll get it for you. Just let me show you. So can you guys see?
We can see.
So I want that. You doing your moonwalk or whatever that is. I want the gif of just that. That's my that's my favorite part. And the first time that Meredith sent this to me, I didn't have enough time. I was gonna try and edit it and just get that because I know you have one, the other one of just your other partner. But I really want I want the one of you doing that moonwalk thing because it's my favorite part of this. I just want to put that out there, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this up on Twitter as well.
Yes, definitely.
So I just want to thank you for that.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a lot of questions.
Go for it.
Like, I have to feel informed. So people are asking, like, how do they get involved? What's the easiest way to get involved in the Fundera Partner Program? Like, how do we, as practitioners, help our clients get to you? Like, obviously, Fundera.com. Like, we're not morons, but how do we best serve our clients to get them to you where they need to be?
So your clients have a very trusting relationship with you, and that's something that we respect completely. And our preference is that you be involved in the process because, I mean, who else would they trust more than the person that's in charge of their financials and helping advise them as they go? So honestly, the easiest way to get involved is fundera.com/advisor. And from there, just sign up as an advisor. We'll collect your email. We'll be in touch right away. Or you can just shoot me an email. I'm just Jared, Jared, @fundera.com, and I'll get back to you right away. Either way, super, super easy to sign up.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that email address because you could have problems. But someone on the show asked, do you lend to a collection agency?
I'm glad you just saw that because I was just about to ask. That's actually an audience question from the Twitters.
Yes, and that's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
So again, we are not a personal lender, or we do not lend the capital
You're
ourselves.
like a facilitator, right?
We are a facilitator is a nice way of looking at it. We are the marketplace, right, that will connect you to your best source of funding. We do have several funding providers in our network that will lend to a collections agency.
Nice. All right.
I love that.
So I think Emwood is going to sabotage me even more and send you over that GIF of just from
So of just you, yeah, because that's my favorite part. Like that's the first thing I think I told her. I was instant messaging her maybe a week or so ago, and yeah, that was my favorite part. I mean, I love the dollar sign. I mean, the dollar shirt, but the moonwalk.
What's that spell? I don't get that part.
What? The shirt?
The shirt is it spell something?
Now, there wasn't really much to get about the whole thing. It's kind of like what you see is what you get on that one.
And it's awesome.
All right, buddy.
Yeah. It's super fabulous.
That's fine.
We love it.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Tell Meredith and tell Dimitri and tell everybody that we said hello. Thank you for coming. Wait, Dawn has one more thing to say. Do you have one more thing to say?
I can't. I have no words. My words are gone. I have all my questions.
That is first.
Well, it was wonderful to sub in for Woody today.
Yeah, I know. He's not feeling well. I feel so bad for him.
I saw that.
He's sick, so.
Well,
but you were here. You were our Woody.
Let me know whenever Woody can't make it. I got your back.
Totally. We need someone sometimes to kind of do the cat herding for Dawn and I.
Yeah.
That's
a deal.
Yeah. The struggle is real for Dawn and I sometimes. We oftentimes need a chaperone or a handler.
I can't stop staring at him in that shirt. I can't. We have to shut him off. We have to cancel him out of the show right now.
All right. I want to tell everybody thanks. And in 2 weeks, we actually have a really special show on the 3rd of March. We have Fundera, we have T-Sheets, and we have Avalera all coming on the show at once to talk about an event that they're going to be all speaking at in sometime in March or April, I think. I honestly can't remember. May. Okay. Are you speaking at it?
I am.
Okay, cool. So, and then we're going to talk about that. So they're going to be there, and they're sponsoring their exhibitors.
Is Jared going to be at that event?
I don't know.
I haven't been invited yet.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
Maybe not.
You know what? I'm just.
I can hook you up.
I'm just going to say, if you end up going, I might have to go just so I can keep her in line. That statement right there is so funny. I couldn't even get it out without laughing. So.
I can hook you up.
All right, so thanks. I want to thank our audience, and we'll be back, and we'll thank our sponsors. Fundera, our sponsor, Fundera, I want to thank Unidata IT, Skyline, love them. Absolutely, Dawn has all of her stuff hosted with them.
All my stuff, cert, everything.
Everything. I still, even though I only have one client on desktop, I still use my hosted account for everything all the time. It's a lot easier than trying to log into my PC here in the office, the one that I'm on right now, because it doesn't always stay on. Sometimes my family turns it off. So then we have Fundera, we have Avalara, we have Unidata or Skyline Cloud Services, and then we also have T-Sheets. We love our T-Sheets, as Dawn does, because it's the T in her team Brolin is the T-Sheets logo. So I want to thank everybody, and I just want to say, Buska drink, there's a cat right there.
Yeah, finally, where have they been?
I know, right? That's my
my
little fat kitten. So you guys, I have to say Buska Dan Laser, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle. High up in the cloud.